Some days, being a Browns fan feels like living inside a suspense thriller. You can feel something huge about to explode, but no one says exactly what. Today is one of those days. There's a name swirling around Berea like a silent hurricane, an internal move that could flip the entire season upside down. But will the team have the guts to pull the trigger? And more importantly, is the fan base ready for the impact? You won't believe what we have for you today. So sit down, drop a like, and let's jump straight into this unbelievable story.
He showed up with doubters from the jump, not because he lacked talent, not because he wasn't prepared, but because the last name he carries is simply too big for the small egos that still run parts of the NFL. Shadur Sanders, quarterback, son of a living legend, a name heavier than some veterans' entire careers. And that weight is exactly what's slowing him down. While he's delivering elite performance in training camp, some on the coaching staff still seem unsure if they can handle the storm that follows his name. But before we jump to any conclusions, let's look at the cold, hard numbers. 77% completion rate, 9 touchdowns, just 1 interception. That's not just promising, that's insane for a rookie in his first minicamp, especially a 5th-round pick. There are vets out here who can't hit those numbers after 10 years in the league. And still, he hasn't taken a single snap with the starters. And that question just keeps digging deeper into the fans' minds like a splinter. What exactly are they waiting for? Some say it's caution. Others call it part of the plan. But anyone who follows the Browns knows this isn't just football. It's politics. And maybe even something bigger than that, culture.
Because Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a symbol. He's a turning point. He's a direct challenge to the old-school NFL mindset still clinging to locker rooms across the league. On the field, he's launching bombs. Off the field, people are still debating if it's worth dealing with the spotlight he brings. Yes, he dances. Yes, he posts. He's got a YouTube channel. He talks to fans. He's marketable. He moves culture. He represents a new era. But the NFL, and maybe even the Browns themselves, still aren't sure if they're ready for that new era. And that's when it starts getting uncomfortable. On paper, this team is building one of the best offensive structures we've seen in years. The offensive line is holding firm. The run game is smooth. The wide receivers are finally delivering what they promised. And the defense? The defense is starting to scare people again. The only question mark left is the quarterback. Kenny Pickett still looks more focused on avoiding mistakes than leading the team. Joe Flacco, with all due respect, is just a ghost of who he used to be. Dylan Gabriel is still learning the playbook, still trying to find his footing. And right in the middle of this organized chaos stands Shedeur, doing everything right, yet still stuck on the sideline. And it's not just the fans who see this. The media is starting to poke holes in the silence. Colin Cowherd dropped a bomb on national TV, claiming the Browns never even wanted Sanders. Said he was a happy mistake on draft day. Said the plan was Gabriel, and now they're stuck realizing plan B might actually be way better than plan A. You think that doesn't shake the locker room? It absolutely does. Inside Berea, everyone's paying attention. The vets are watching this kid closely, and they're seeing something different. It's not just the arm strength or the accuracy. It's the way he commands a huddle. It's the eyes, the lightning-fast reads, the calm under pressure. In one close practice, he scored 3 red zone touchdowns in a row against the first-team defense while running with the backups. And still, the headline the next day was about Flacco's rehab. That wears thin. It wears out the fans, it wears down the teammates, and it especially wears on Shedeur himself. But he keeps his head down, keeps grinding, refusing to give anyone a reason to label him arrogant or spoiled. But the locker room is starting to talk. Sources say there are players, even some from the offensive line, who already prefer running reps with Sanders. They say the energy shifts,
The rhythm feels smoother. The communication just clicks. But on the coaching side, the message stays the same. Patience. And here's where the pressure starts to spike, because patience has a deadline, and that deadline is spelled preseason. If Shedeur gets into a preseason game, even in the second half, and shows what he's been doing in practice, the Browns will be forced to choose: either blow up the plan and go bold with the most daring decision in years, or risk losing the locker room by clinging to the safe, the comfortable, the politically correct. And let's not even talk about the fans. The Dawg Pound ain't blind. They see it, they get it, they feel it. When a crowd starts chanting the name of a player who hasn't even played it down, that's not hype. That's a message. That's something the front office can't ignore much longer.
And you know what makes all of this even more explosive? The schedule. We open the season against the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. That's a baptism by fire. If we start 0-2 or 0-3, guess who's taking the blame? The quarterback. And guess who the fans will demand? Sanders. You can't hide this kid much longer. He's not just good, he's inevitable. And the longer the Browns stall, the more dangerous it becomes. If they throw Shedeur in only when the walls are caving in, he steps into chaos, with the crowd restless and the team out of sync, and that could destroy a rare gem in the making. But if they hand him the offense from the start, with time, with backing, with structure, the whole story could change. But that's where the fear creeps in. Because starting Shedeur sends a loud message. The times have changed. The new generation is here, and the Browns are ready to lead it. But is the franchise bold enough to make that call? Or are we about to watch history repeat itself, clinging to safe names that deliver nothing but mediocrity? You can't pretend there's no quarterback battle. It's real. It's on the field, in the press room, in the front office, and it's getting louder. And every real fan knows when that kind of tension takes over a locker room, either the team moves fast or the season's lost before kickoff even hits. Meanwhile, Shedeur keeps working. He stays quiet. He leads without wearing the C, showing that what he really has beyond talent is emotional maturity. And maybe, just maybe, that's the scariest part of all. He's not trying to prove anything, he just wants to play. And that kind of hunger, that's what rebuilds entire franchises. Watch closely. That name, Shedeur Sanders, is going to echo through Cleveland for a long time. The Browns are standing at a crossroads. They can play it safe and risk a slow collapse, or take a leap and start a new era with Shedeur Sanders. So, tell me, Dawg Pound, if it were your call, who's your starter in Week 1? Drop your answer in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, because what's happening in Cleveland might just change the whole NFL, and you won't want to miss a second of it.